Another ugly win, Coach?
That's I'll take ugly wins over beautiful losses any day. But you got to give, first of all, you got to give the Citadel a lot of credit. You know, after the game that we played yesterday, they came out just like I knew they would and competed extremely hard. We had the lead. It was a one-run game, and then you know, they found a way with a tough two-out hit to tie it up, and then fortunately for us, Okie came up with the big double, and we got Weston Wilson up there, which he's done time and time again with runners in scoring position in a 2-strike count and delivered a huge hit for us. And then Bostic, how about the job that Crawl and Eubanks and Bostic did in some really tough situations to pitch out of. It's just we're very, very fortunate to win that ball game. I thought the Citadel played very well, but we found a way to hang on and win.
Monte, for you to come down here, you just kind of sum up the 2 days and how you feel about your ball club leaving the Low Country.
Well, you know, the one thing that I've learned is, you know, good teams, you got to find ways to win in different ways. And first game, we pitched very well. We swung the bats exceptionally well. Today, I thought we threw the ball pretty good, but, you know, we didn't capitalize in some run scoring opportunities. We made some mistakes. But, you know, overall, I think that the biggest difference today was we pitched extremely tough at the end of the game, and we found a way to win a tough ball game. And that's one thing that this team has found a way to do. If you look over the last, 4 or 5 ball games, we'll go back to the Winthrop game last Wednesday, and last week we came from behind. We had a tough ball game tonight. We had a couple tough ball games at Wake Forest, but we're finding ways to win games, which very, very encouraged by.
Coach, how valuable is it not only for the mental psyche of your players, but for you as a coaching staff and your decision making to be in these tight ball games early on in the season?
Well, I'll say this: the sign of a really good team for me has always been, can you win a one-run game with 9 outs to go? If you want to define a team in one way of whether they're a good club or not, it's when they got a 1-run lead with 9 outs to go, because that's when all the magic happens. That's when all the bunts happen. That's when all the pressure situations happen the last 3 innings. And if you can win those ball games, it's a sign that you got a good club. So when you win in tough games, it's always good. So very proud that we were able to find a way to win this game tonight.
How about Wilson? He's got 7 RBIs in the last 2 games. The way you see him.
Who was that?
Weston Wilson.
Yeah, Weston. Weston is just doing an unbelievable job of, he stays in the middle of the field very well. He doesn't try to do too much. He's a clutch hitter for us. And we all know that they're going to be very careful with Seth Beer. Everybody's on pins and needles when Seth Beer comes up there because of the damage that he can do. So they're going to be careful with him. So Weston has got to be able to hit behind him. If he can do that all year, then we got a chance to score a lot of runs.
With the way Seth Beer is hitting right now, how much does that open things up for the hitter that's in front of him, such as Okie tonight?
Well, I think you're seeing it. I think you're seeing that Okie, they're being a little more aggressive with Okie than they were probably the first 2 weeks of the season, because they know they've got to throw strikes to Okie. They can't put Okie on base, because every time you put Okie on base, you're opening up the right side of the field for Seth Beer to go in there and mash one. So, right now it's benefiting Okie, and it's a great sign to see Weston hitting so well behind him. And, we threw the ball very well. It all starts with pitching, and we pitched pretty good, so very proud of our efforts.
First home ACC series this weekend. It's BC, but anyone's a big one, and they're ranked this year.
Well, BC has got probably the best team they've had in quite a while. You look at what they did last weekend against an NC State club that a lot of scouts told me was one of the best teams in the Carolinas. NC State was only able to score, I believe, 4 runs in 3 games. So they obviously have very, very good pitching. So we're going to have our hands full. We're going to have to find a way to be very, very disciplined at the plate. When we get a pitch to hit, we got to hit it. But we got to continue to pitch and defend. But we're at home. We're very good at home. So very excited about going back home. And we got a tough test this weekend, but we're excited about the opportunity.
Now that you got 2 wins here, just what did these couple of days mean to you to come back to the Low Country?
Well, it's great to come back to Charleston. It's always, on road trips as a baseball coach, after you look at the scouting reports and you kind of figure out your lineup, you're looking for things to do. And there's a lot to do in Charleston, so it's always nice to be able to go and eat really good food and see a lot of friends. I've got a lot of great friends here, so it's always good to see people that you care about. And the relationships that I have in Charleston. It's been a lot of fun seeing a lot of good friends and being able to visit such a great city. It's been very good for our program and very good for me.
The reception you got, most opposing managers don't get. I guess that had to have meant something to you.
It always does. You know, it always does. It's just, again, I love the city of Charleston, love the people of Charleston, and, you know, got a warm reception. I think more than anything that we got Clemson back in Charleston, which is a good thing. The people here are very excited about having Clemson back in Charleston, and it's been a lot of fun to see a lot of orange and purple in the stands down here and getting the Low Country to come and support us.
Clemson has been kind of shut out here in the low country recruiting. You think coming down here is going to help you?
I think that we're going to win the state. You know, I think that if you look at what we're going to do recruiting-wise, number one, you look at the 2016 class, Clemson signed more in-state players than any school in this state. So we're going to win this state. We're going to go sign players. And coming into the Low Country, we're going to come into the Low Country. If there's good players in the Low Country and we think they can play at our level, Clemson's going to recruit them. So it definitely does help to show your program in the Low Country, to be visible in the Low Country, and we will always capitalize on that. There's good players down here and across our whole state. We're going to try to get them.
Obviously, Alex faced 5 batters tonight. When will he start on Sunday?
That's a good question. You know, we're going to evaluate that based on the number of pitches. We wanted to try to keep him right at 20. It was a bullpen day for him. We felt like on his Sunday start, he didn't really get a lot of work in. So we felt like Alex is a guy that needs work. He needs to go out there and pitch. So we had it already mapped out that we were going to pitch him on Wednesday before we even came to Charleston. So, yeah, he's definitely still capable of starting. Will we start him? I don't know if we will or not. We're going to talk about that and see whether we decide we're going to name a starter for Sunday, or, you know, do we leave him in the bullpen and try to win the first 2 games? You know, we haven't exactly found a way to be the team we want to be on Friday yet, so it's nice to bring a Eubanks out of the bullpen, and we may decide that we're going to do that, try to, you know, win game 1, win game 2, and then figure out who we got left and start him in game 3.
Was that the main reason you pulled him out in the 8th, was to save him for the weekend?
That's exactly why we did it, and that's why we kept Crawl on a short pitch count, because we stretched him out, kept Crawford on a low pitch count, and Eubanks. We wanted to keep those guys pretty much 25 down pitch count wise tonight.